Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you into my fridge so that we can clean, organize, and restock it. Every few months I like to go through my fridge and give it a facelift. I want to make sure that there's no expired food staying in the fridge. I like to make sure everything's nice and clean, and then I like to do a little inventory to see what I need. So I am down to the bare bones in terms of food inventory in my fridge, so I figured this would be the perfect time to give it a good clean, and I thought I would take you guys along with me before I go grocery shopping. So today I'm going to clean out the fridge, make it nice and pretty, wipe down everything, and get rid of any expired products. And then tomorrow I'll be going to the grocery store to restock all of the necessities, get some fresh produce, all of that. So you guys get to come along for this clean and organize and restock journey. Let's get started. When you're cleaning out your fridge, you want to make sure that you're using a cleaner that you're okay with coming into contact with your food, in case you're throwing in a head of broccoli or a head of cauliflower or a bunch of fresh herbs. So the only cleaner that I use in my entire house, so of course it's going to be used in my fridge as well too because it's completely plant-based, is Thieves Household Cleaner. So I've just got 1 cap full of the Thieves Household Cleaner in my spray bottle. So I'm just gonna use that to spray down all of the compartments in the fridge. Same thing goes when you're bringing home your produce from the grocery store. You wanna make sure that you're using a good quality wash. The one that I use is of course the Thieves one as well too. This stuff is amazing. And the reason that you wanna soak your produce before you pop it into the fridge or before you consume it is because 1, it's super convenient to do everything all at once and then bring everything into the fridge so that when you need to cook a meal or grab a snack, everything is washed and ready to go. The other reason is that the fruit and veggie wash can remove any germs or bacteria, any leftover pesticides or herbicides, waxes, things that people have put on it from touching your produce before you purchase it. So I think it's really important, even if you are buying organic produce, give it a quick wash. It only takes a few minutes to soak it in your sink. I'll show you guys how I do that once I bring home all my produce from the grocery store tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna take you into my fridge. It is really, really bare. Anyways, let's go see how gross my fridge is. It's been probably 3.5, 4 months since I last cleaned it out. Ooh, and with Christmas and New Year's and having a ton of people in our house, it's definitely well overdue to get clean. Okay, as you guys can see, we've just pretty much got leftover food, some nuts and seeds and condiments. I don't even know what's in that stainless steel container anymore. The doors are pretty full. I feel like my doors are always quite full. There's never enough door space, you know what I mean? Got some of Brewster's dog food there, some eggs, some cooked sausages, a little bit of romaine lettuce. Oh, my fridge wants me to close the door. 2 lonely carrots, some supplements, and a couple of good fat bars alongside some pumpkin seed oil. And then these are the drawers. I use one as a dairy and deli drawer. The other one I'm so embarrassed to show you guys, it's filthy. And those pears are organic. I bought them like 4 days ago. They're pretty much mush now. So I don't typically give my kids juice boxes. However, when they have friends, that's gonna happen a lot. However, when they have friends over and when we have family over, I do always have some juice boxes kicking around in the fridge. But since all that's done and we don't have any major events going on, I'm popping these back into the freezer because these are considered a treat in my house and I don't want my kids seeing them and asking for them. They usually don't, but it's just gonna free up some extra door space for me, so. Here's some of what's come out of the fridge. I've already chucked a bunch of stuff that we didn't need. Some old herbs and what else? Some olives that were questionable. Just the usual, you know? Here's my process for cleaning my fridge. I take a hot cloth and I start on the top shelf and just do an initial wipe down. You don't want to start on the bottom because then when you get to the top, any crumbs will just go onto what you've just cleaned. All right, everything has been wiped out. All of the crumbs are gone. Now it's time to go in and actually clean. So I'm just gonna spray the whole thing down and then wipe it with a rag. This is just an old tea towel that I'm using. When I do my cleaning inside the fridge, I actually start with the doors just so I can make sure that when I'm spraying, I'm not spraying onto the clean shelves, so that I'm not leaving any mist residue or any droplets of the cleaner. And just because I like it to be streak free. Just make sure you get in between here. If you've got any rubber pieces on your fridge, I find these hold a lot of crumbs and grime. So I'm just gonna give that a wipe. And then spray all on the side here. If you have anything sticky that you can't get off by using the cloth, just grab a sponge and then just spray your Thieves cleaner directly onto it. I've got a little bit of, looks like maple syrup or something sticking on back there. So I'm just gonna give this a little buff. Couple spots. All right, everything is all clean. Now I'm just gonna throw back in all the stuff that I'm gonna keep, organize it a little bit, but that's mostly gonna come tomorrow. So I will see you guys then for a fully stocked and organized fridge. I'm back from the grocery store. I'm just gonna get my produce all washed and dried before I load it back into the fridge. When you're organizing your fridge, I think it's important to invest in some glassware to hold any leftover food or anything that you're meal prepping. And I have some ones similar to what I've got linked down below in the description box. The next piece of glassware that I would suggest investing in is, of course, some mason jars and various sizes of mason jars. And to do that, I use an oil-based pen. You can find these pens at most craft stores and of course on Amazon, which is where I got mine. So let me take you inside of my fridge to show you how I've organized it and what I've stocked up on this week. In this drawer, I like to keep the apples that the kids can just quickly grab and pop into their lunch bag or to grab a quick snack with. And yes, this is approximately how many apples my kids will go through in a week. In this drawer, I like to keep my deli stuff. So I've got some Italian prosciutto. I've got my unsalted grass-fed butter. This is what I use to make my bulletproof coffees. And if I'm baking, which is very rare, I use this. And then I've got some salted grass-fed butter. This is from Organic Meadow. And then I've got some cheese that I got from my butcher. There's Manchego, and there is a truffle cheese that is from Iceland. It's really nice. And then I've got some spreadable goat cheese. This is kind of like a cream cheese, but it's made with goat cheese. This is an old goat cheddar. And then Joel's got his dairy-free cheddar slices. This was our first time trying them. He is not a huge fan. But then again, there's no such thing as an amazing cheese replacement. These wraps are beeswax wraps, so I try to use this as much as I can to avoid using plastic. They're really easy to use. And then if you guys remember from before, this was mostly supplements and there was some pumpkin seed oil that I threw out. So now I've just got the cod liver oil that I give to the kids in the winter. I take it as well too, actually. We've got some kombucha, and then we were gonna try this the next time we had friends over who drink gin and tonic. This is an organic soda stream mix that you can make up. I've never used it before, but it looks a little bit better than the regular tonic water that you can buy. And then on this side of the door, I've got my taller bottles. So I've got my apple cider vinegar, my lemon juice, I've got some coconut water back here. I wanted to try this Barista Oat Milk. It's a gluten-free oat milk that everyone has been raving about. So I was doing a couple of recipes with it and trying it out, and it's actually really good. It's not the cleanest, of course. Any type of dairy-free milk alternative is not always the best quality. I prefer to make my own almond milk personally, but I just don't always have time. This is the one that we're currently using. It is so nice, organic almond milk, and we get it unsweetened. On the upper left shelf, I like to keep some pre-made salad dressing. I've got a recipe for a similar salad dressing that I make all the time. I've got some oversized cabbage that won't fit in my crisper, a squash, some eggs, and then I like to keep the fermented stuff up here just because we use it so often. This is the Farmhouse Culture Gut Shot. This is a really nice way to get your probiotics in. There's also some kimchi back there. Got some grass-fed yogurt and some goat yogurt. Both are plain and unsweetened, and some coconut kefir as well too. So I try to keep all of the taller items closer to the back so that they're easily seen and no smaller bottles or products get lost behind them. Another tip for organizing your fridge is to evaluate the products that you're using on a daily basis and keep those ones closer to the front, just like I did with the salad dressing. We use that every single night, sometimes for lunch, so sometimes multiple times a day. I want to make sure that I can easily access that. And then in my mason jars, I just have a variety of different nuts and seeds. I've got pecans, macadamia nuts, hemp hearts, almonds, walnuts, hazelnuts, and I just think organizing it this way makes it look nice and neat. And I do think it's better to store any nuts and seeds in the fridge because they do have delicate fats in them that you don't want getting destroyed or going rancid from being in the cupboard or the pantry. Okay, I'm gonna vlog style this because it's really hard to get into the fridge and it's a little bit funny with the lighting. So the second shelf I like to keep as prepped items or things that we're gonna have right away. So I like to keep a container to defrost my meat in. I've got some chicken wings in there that are getting ready to thaw for tomorrow night's dinner. And then I've got some fresh gnocchi that I'm gonna be cooking tonight. I've got my unsalted butter in a container so that it's easy for me to use. This is Brewster's dog food. And this is his little quail egg that is defrosting for his dinner tonight. And then in the back, I've got some leftover chicken wings and some leftover chicken thighs. I just like to keep everything that's a leftover item on one shelf because it's front and center in line with your vision, so it reminds you to utilize those items. Okay, the next shelf is mostly vegetables. The next shelf is fresh produce. And I've got some romaine, I've got some Swiss chard, some celery, beets, and then these are little ceramic containers that I got from Costco a couple years ago. Some mini organic bell peppers, and then there's some grape tomatoes back there. This is the beauty of having everything prepped and ready. And then over here we've got some organic baby spinach, and then these are some organic mushrooms. I'm gonna make some type of miso soup, I think. And then next we've got the produce drawers. All right, so I've got cauliflower, iceberg lettuce, beet that wouldn't fit on the shelf above, some broccoli, some organic peppers, cucumbers. There's a couple lonely carrots from earlier, and a tomato. And then this is where I keep my fruit. So I've got some ginger, got some dragon fruit, some lemons, some blood oranges, some navel oranges, grapefruit, mango, avocado. And then down here in this little slider drawer, I just keep my fresh herbs. And then up here, I've just got some coconut milk. This is light coconut milk, which is not usually what I recommend, but I was doing a recipe with it. This is the probiotic that we're currently taking. Some barbecue sauce, more condiments at the top. So some Chosen Foods mayo, that's from Costco. Some hot sauces, some coconut aminos, Bubby's relish, which is so good. And that's basically it. That's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got some fridge organization and restock inspiration. Please don't forget to subscribe before you go. And if you're not yet following me over on Instagram, head over there. I will catch you guys next week for a new video. Take care. Ciao.